Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of V.I.B.E. And we're using V.I.B.E. as an acronym to mean virtuous, intelligent, beautiful energy. And I'm here with a panel of three women who you have seen before if you've watched the show. If you're just tuning in, I have Hayla. Wait to the views. Yes. Hayla is 24 years old. She's a college graduate, and right now she's working in a preschool. So, we're happy to have her input about children as it relates to your preschool age children. And we also have Pastor Bridget, who is with us. And Pastor Bridget, along with her husband, she's a pastor of her own church, and she has 5 children. 2 are adult children who don't live in the home anymore because they're adults, and 3 other children. And so she has plenty of experience when it comes to children. And we also have Diane Baker, who is a mother of a grown son who's a school teacher, and she can draw from his experience in the classroom. And she also has 2 granddaughters. And today, as you can tell from my background, we are going to talk about Halloween. We are going to talk about Halloween. I know that as a child, we all look forward to getting candy, going door to door, getting candy. Nowadays, it's not safe to go door to door unless you actually know the people, but there are alternatives. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the origins of Halloween, how it started, where it came from, and we're going to also discuss alternatives in case you don't want to celebrate Halloween in the traditional manner. And if you ladies want to talk about your own personal experiences with Halloween, that would be very, very much appreciated. So anyway, Pastor Bridget, could you tell us, how did Halloween begin and how did it start?
Well, back in the day, there was, Halloween is a pagan holiday, and it comes from All Saints Eve or All Hallows Eve. It's a celebration reserved in many countries in the world, actually. And it's a time where you have Celtic, it comes from Celtic, the Celtic traditions and things like that, where they had trick-or-treating and costume parties, and a lot of alcohol was involved, and treats and candy, and a lot of festivities going on at that time. And they had something called Samhain Festival. And the Samhain Festival is where the Celtics would get together to ward off ghosts, different types of spirits. And there were Celtic druids. Druids they dress up as like warlocks, very dark. They're like priests sometimes. And they would have bonfires and things of that sort going on and everything like that. And another name for it would be called All Souls Day. Mm-hmm. All Souls Day. And in All Souls Day and Halloween, there's angels and devils and witches and warlocks and all kinds of festivals celebrating the dead. And so that's basically where it has come from. I could go on and on and on. It's a lot to it. It's so much more in depth, but basically that's where it came from. And I've learned over the years, me personally being a pastor, When I was younger, I celebrated Halloween, but after I did more research, finding that it is a pagan holiday and it is celebrating the dead, I found that as a Christian, we are not to celebrate Halloween
Because
because
yeah, because
it,
that's like the devil's holiday.
it is the devil's holiday. And it's a day also where they in the bonfires, like I said, All Souls Day. So they have where they look for animals, they look for your strays. They've killed people and kidnapped children on those days or whatever and made sacrifices out of them. They
And
make sacrifices out of our animals.
they would also do that with, yeah, just like you said, with animals, right? They would look for your stray animals to torture or kill them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, and you use their blood to you sacrifice their blood, and it's just so much to it. It's called Samhain. You can look it up, Samhain festivals. And this is what they do when it's time for Halloween. So when I was in my 30s, I stopped celebrating it with the kids and I stopped celebrating it myself. So I don't know if you want me to speak on alternatives that we do.
Well, you know what what I'd like to do? I'd like for you to speak on it later, like in a few minutes, but I would like to hear from Diane. Do you celebrate Halloween, or do you have any alternatives, or what do your grandchildren do?
When my son was younger, of course, it was like, well, when I was a kid, we ran around, got the candy and everything like that. So I said, I did that because it was fun. We dressed up. My mother wouldn't let us dress up as bad people, like you had to be like a, princess or something, want to be something like a devil. No, 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 wouldn't do that because I was Catholic, brought up Catholic. So I remember it being a fun thing. When my son was small, he was running around with his friends and it was just like the candy. It was just the candy. I didn't research it. When I got older, I researched it, and I was actually in a church one time, and there was a lady passing out, the tracts. Is that what you call them? The little, paper
Track. Christian tracts. Yeah.
Christian tracts that says that Halloween is a bad thing. It's evil. You shouldn't do that. And then some of the kids in the church, they were like sad because they just wanted to dress up. They wanted the fun part, to continue to do that. So the church would have a little thing, for the kids in the church. Dress up like however you want to do it, have the candy like that, but not go out, house to house. I did some research. I've heard that name, that Samhain. Right now, like I said, I'm older. I do it for my granddaughters, and Halloween we'll go over there, we'll have pizza, and they'll dress up and they'll go around the neighborhood. They go where they know the people. They're not going to go, in a place they're not. But spiritually, I'm more drawn to the day after, the souls. Is that what you said? It's the Souls Day.
All Souls Day.
Yeah. So for me, I kind of gravitate to the day after, the holiday, but I don't, like I said, I don't celebrate. I just do it, as a fun thing for the kids with the candy. So
Right.
but within a contained atmosphere, within the church or, a store, something like that. Not, because these days you don't know what people are going to give the kids, and it's scary. It's scary.
Right.
So that's my take on that.
Okay, thanks a lot, Diane. Now, Hayla, do you have anything to say? Like, what are the kids doing at your preschool for Halloween?
Yesterday we did like a trick or treat thing for them, and they walked around the classrooms, and the teachers gave them candy, and then my classroom also gave the other little kids candy as well, and they dressed up in their costumes, whatever they wanted to wear.
Okay, so I know that there are alternatives, and I know that there are people who are having your parties, like they might call it a costume party, or they might call it something different. So, it's an opportunity for the children to have fun, dress up in costumes, and have a party where they're having candy and they can take home a goodie bag so that the kids don't feel like they're losing out or missing out on fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, Pastor Bridget, do you have any other alternatives that you can think of that that people do?
Well, yeah, for us, and us teaching our church about the members of our church about Halloween as well, we used to have something called a harvest festival. And so we would let the kids dress up in biblical characters and things like that. And then we would have, as I'm saying Sister Diane, like we're in church, but she is my sister in Christ. So yeah, she's my sister in Christ. So like Diane was saying that, we would have pizza, we would have candy, we would have activities for them to play games and things like that. And so they would dress up in biblical characters and things like that. And then some churches, some of my friends' churches, they do something called trunk or treat, where again, the kids can dress up in biblical characters and then they give them candy from out of the trunk. There's like a lot of bags of candy. They make little goodie bags and things like that. And they give it to the kids. And we in our home, since, we have done our research on Halloween, we have my husband, he bags up candy. He buys a bunch of candy from stores or whatnot. And then he gives them little baggies of candy. And then there's a bowl of candy. We don't let them eat all the candy all at once, just so they won't feel left out. You know what I mean? And so we have in the past also, we have bought them like superhero costumes. Or, Hayla would dress up as like a superhero too, or one of the Incredibles or something like that. And so they would be in the house, with their costumes on, and they can wear them anytime. They don't have to just have it on Halloween. They can use them anytime, and they used to go around and play in them. Now they're teenagers. They're a little bit big for that now, but we still provide them with candy because it doesn't matter how old you are. You still would like to have some candy.
People have different beliefs about Halloween and how they celebrate it and what they're going to do for their children on Halloween. And the way that I feel about it is like this. Even though I know that it started out as a pagan holiday, since it's so embedded in our culture, I didn't want my son to feel deprived. I didn't want him to feel like he's being left out. And I'm sure a lot of other parents probably feel the same way. Now, when he was a little boy, it was perfect. It was safe to go from door to door. That's what people did. People went from door to door, ringing doorbells, getting candy. And then one year that stopped because it was so dangerous. We watched the news, and the news had, reports of people putting things in candy, like needles and pins and different things like that. And that year, everything stopped. Mm-hmm. But I believe that, children should have fun on Halloween. They can rename it. They can call it something else. Just like when Pastor Bridget said that they have a harvest fest, something like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you call it something different. The kids can dress up in costumes, and they can have candy, and they can have a party, and still they don't feel like they're being left out. They're still having fun. So yeah, that's how I feel about it. And I think it's worked out very well that children are having Halloween parties nowadays, and they're celebrating Halloween in a fun manner. Well, I'd like to thank you all, because that was a very good discussion. And I hope that all of our friends out there see this show, and I hope that they can learn something from it. And if you're watching us on YouTube, please leave a comment. And if you're watching us on Roku, we thank you very much. If you wanted to go over to YouTube, find us in the Parenting Solution channel. You can do that and leave a comment as well, because we really would like to know what you think. And I hope that you did enjoy this show. So I'd like to thank all of my guests, and thank you all for watching. And right now, gonna say bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Happy Halloween.